Welcome to the Harris Show. I'm your host, Jamal, Radio Raheem Harris, and I'm with my sister and co-host, Angie Ang. And today we are joined by two guests. We're joined by my brother, Jakeel, and we're also joined by the Blackness, Jake. So they're going to introduce their stuff because that's what they do. I'm going to give them a little time to do that before we get into the episode. So whoever wants to start first, y'all can go ahead.
All right, Jakeel, Project Speaks CEO, founder, poet. You know, that's me. His brother.
That's wild.
No background on what Project Speaks is cool.
Man.
Not my brother. What the hell?
Her
brother. What about your sister?
I just said her brother too.
Oh.
I not. Shit, you under the bus, the train, the 18-wheeler, and I'm back. Theblackness.org. When you want some great merchandise like this, we got them in different colors. We got the white. You see how I toss it out the way? We got that brown. Because some of y'all like the Cleveland Browns or the El Camino Wildcats. I'm just going to toss that out the way. We got that red. We got that red and white. Whatever colors you need, I'm going to put that out the way. And then we got that gold. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you're a Cal State Long Beach graduate. Theblackness.org. Come check us out. This is just one item. We got plenty more. All the colors is out. Just hit us up. Theblackness.org. Follow the Instagram page, __blackness. And that's me. First question, so I can go and knock this one out.
All right. So there's a lot of stuff that's been in the news lately. You know, a lot of negativity. We're going to hit on a couple of them. Then we're going to try to do some positive stuff because I don't like focusing on negative too much. So a teacher... This is one of many teachers who's been recorded, mind you. And these teachers are just wild, and these kids are recording y'all. Y'all don't realize this. But a teacher was caught on camera saying Breonna Taylor was responsible for her own death. What are y'all thoughts on that? Angie, you could start because you know we're gonna overpower you with
the I wasn't surprised. I was just like, I was kind of more like, these teachers are still doing this, not knowing students are recording, like what? And then her apology was interesting.
It was the best.
But yeah, no, these teachers really have lost their minds. And then these are the teachers they want to teach kids. And I'm just like, are we not really looking into these people before y'all hire them? Because it's just a hot ass mess. Truly.
Here we go. We're gonna do a thorough investigation. That's my favorite line. I already got my hot sauce and popcorn ready because I'm ready for that line. We're gonna do a thorough investigation. What happened to fired? That's it. Yep. You're done. You're on camera. We heard it all. Where's the disconnect? Where's the idea that I got a phone, you got a phone, everybody got a phone, cameras everywhere. I came to school, I'm teaching. I can just say whatever I want to say, like I didn't sign a contract. Where's the disconnect of knowing there's phones, laptops, and iPads all in this room, and I probably should be even more careful with what I say. But because I'm so comfortable and because I get to do what I want, depending on that skin tone, I'm just going to keep saying it. So they're going to keep catching teachers. And these are just the ones we've seen. It's funny to me. I'm mad. I'm actually jealous of these kids because I wish I had a recording cell phone when I was in high school because I would have caught the entire school. 90% of the school teachers, staff, and coaches would have been fired. They'd have had to just throw the school in the trash. So that's what I got to say about it. Fired.
Yeah. We all work in education. So,
yes.
Well, I'm not gonna throw shade. We all have worked in education before.
One of these things are not like the other.
But we work with people that we know think like this, so it's not a surprise to me that this was said. It's surprising that these teachers are stupid enough to be like, ain't nobody gonna record me. Like, ain't nobody gonna record me. I've been on TikTok and you just be all day just seeing teachers get recorded. I'm just like,
yes.
So none of y'all just care. Like, y'all just don't care about y'all job. Or tenured is that well, you know.
Well, it's different too because so I work in both high school and in college. And in high school, All right, before we went to this whole virtual thing, I had to like really be aware of like whose camera was going to be on me, because I won't be able to say certain things because it would be fired. It wouldn't even be a question. They'd be like, Jakeel said it, he's fired. Right? College is the same thing. First of all, these are grown men and women coming into your class, right? And they're literally like waiting for the next opportunity for somebody to make it big. Honestly, like teachers at this point, it's not even that they're scared that they're going to lose their job. It's three things. One, they're like, I'm underpaid, so if I lose my job, who gives a shit? Two, two, it's like I'm so comfortable in my privilege that I'm gonna say whatever the hell I want.
That's really what it is.
Because I got the platform. Like when you are a teacher, you literally have the platform to be like, I'm gonna just start talking and you're gonna listen. And three, first of all, we are in the generation where motherfuckers is recording everything.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
It's not the classroom that's not just recorded. It's outside. It's
ATM machine.
everywhere. Every aspect of the world is being recorded.
But
So
I'm pretty sure that's not the first wild thing she said, because that student was clearly ready to record.
She probably said some wild shit the day before. She probably
I'm sure that student was like, I'm gonna get you
that statement before.
She probably said multiple things. She probably said some shit like, oh, George Zimmerman is my hero or some shit. And they were probably like, you know what, let me
And it got pumped up during February.
Oh,
I heard the most and saw the most videos because Black History Month. Mm-hmm. There's a teacher out here teaching yoga to elementary school students while she's teaching Black history, this white teacher. And she was telling these students, oh, and look, here's the map, and this is Africa, and this is where Black people came from so they could come work in America.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I saw a video that a teacher was like saying like they came here. It was in Texas. They came here to work. It was like what?
Like they clocking in for 9 to 5?
Yeah. Every once in a while, throwing some overtime pay. You feel me?
And then they call it academic freedom. And a lot of them get away with that at the university. And then they have all these unions, and then they have, different department chairs, and they've agreed this is academic freedom. I can go this far. And I go, you know what? You right. I'm on your team. So let's do this for every racial group. And it never happens. How is this consistently just a Black thing?
Yep.
Show me all these videos of them doing this to everybody else all the time, every year.
Yep. The crazy thing is it's not only just happening to Black people, it's happening during times where Black people are supposed to be celebrating Black people.
Yeah.
So it's like I was reading about this teacher, I think it was Texas too, who for Black History Month, instead of teaching about slavery, he wanted to do a reenactment and had the white he had the white students be slave owners and the Black students be slaves.
So who played Django?
And so they were like, this is what slavery was like. Like we wanted to show the students.
What?
And I'm like,
they still do that in Mississippi. Somebody got caught like 4 years ago because they used to take the little elementary kids to the actual cotton field in Mississippi and had the Black kids picking cotton.
Wow.
Like this is the 2000s that this is going on. This is within the last 8 to 10 years. You can find all of this. They sold little Black kids as slaves in some elementary classes like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They had the white kids bidding on them.
Mm-hmm. And then what? Like, I don't know what's wrong with that.
I was actually in
about slavery.
I was in college when they because my Africana class, we talked about that. So this has been going on at least. I graduated in 2016, so this has been at least 5 years that this has been. So we talked about it, and there was like white kids in the class, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this happens," and we're like, "Yeah, what the fuck? We've been saying this. Shut up." You in our class.
It's nonstop. It's never stopped. It's just being recorded. It's just like all of the murders of all these Black people. None of it's new. None of it's heightened. It's not getting better or worse. It's being recorded. Yeah. And still, we continue to see the verdicts come down and say the police acted accordingly, or the teachers have academic freedom, or they're allowed to apologize. It's over. On to the next story.
It's always about people's opinions and people's feelings. And it's like, yes, to a certain degree, freedom of speech is something that we all cherish, right? But at the same time, freedom of speech does not protect you from consequences. If the consequences of what you are saying is in direct violation into somebody's rights, beliefs, or anything like that, you should be fired.
Yes.
Like,
it violates the code of conduct as
like,
a professional staff or teacher.
yeah,
You
like
violated that for the city, state, and federal education board.
yeah, they tell you all these different things about, oh, you can't show your religious views or your
Yep.
political views and stuff
Yep.
like that. But you can say something like, well, I think Breonna Taylor asked for it. You know, you can say that, but you can't say like, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat.
You
Like,
can't. You can't. But people say it in a different way.
Yes,
Like,
and that's the
they'll be
academic
like,
freedom.
oh, well, we're not voting for the orange guy. It's like, well, you don't have to tell me what your political party is. You just did, though.
It's the academic freedom. I think that's the one thing in education that makes like zero sense in how they like justify things, because academic freedom only comes into account when teachers are about to get fired for some racist shit.
Sounds just like the code police officers have. I fear for my life.
Yep.
Which is weird. You have a gun, you have a badge, you have fucking protection, and a camera that is always off. When you commit a crime.
It just happens to be.
And it's 10 of y'all. You fear for your life.
Here's the thing.
Oh, I like this one. I was reaching for my taser. I forgot which side it was on. So when I pulled it out and pulled the trigger, I thought it was my taser. Because I'm a police officer.
10 times. Like, what?
And the taser be lime green or neon orange, and it's fat like this. And you don't know the difference between your taser and your gun. I'm supposed to believe that because you're in such a height of fear, even though this is what you practice to do.
Yeah.
Come on, player.
You practice to do it, and that's your justification. Your justification is you fear for your life. As a police officer, if that's you should always fear for your life as a police officer. Like, that's your job. You're going into dangerous situations 24/7. So how is this situation different than every other situation that you've dealt with outside of it being a person of color that you don't want to deal with?
How are all the serial killers on their way to jail in chains, and they get to write a book? And a movie about them comes out later,
and get
including their direct quotes, because they never get shot when the cops show up, and they got a gun shooting everybody.
And they hear about what happens. He ate 15 bodies and hit 13 of them in a dungeon.
Jeffrey Dahmer, he had hands and feet in his refrigerator.
Skulls. He was collecting skulls.
That's Charles Manson. You can go on and on. These people all got collected nicely and were able to stand trial, tell their story, get documentaries made about them with their direct quotes and their input. That's amazing. So I don't want to hear training. There's no lack of training. There's no lack of funding. There's no lack of cultural competency. All of those things are to circle the wagon and to get us in a not never-ending argument. We don't want to fix the problem.
Yeah, my thing is before we move on, if it is a lack of training, give them more training. With the billions of dollars that is being spent on that department, oh, the teachers aren't trained enough? Give them more training. It's so simple. It's so simple. We have the money there, but they don't want to do that. Oh, they don't have enough training. We get more training to do hair than a cop. That doesn't even make sense.
How about that?
But it doesn't take that much training to be like, hey, he doesn't have a gun. I shouldn't shoot him.
It does when you're in the LAPD gang and your initiation is to murder somebody. And if they black, you automatically in. Because they just released this documentary like last week.
Yeah.
And it hit the news as well, mentioning the documentary.
What documentary?
I'm slipping the name. No, it's like a regular, like independent. It's not on Netflix or anything like that. And the news story came out and they talked about it. Now, this ain't the first time, because the FBI investigated the LAPD in the 90s. They did it again. They did it again in the early 2000s. Then somebody just did it again, like within the last year. And they showed the different gang units within the LAPD and the sheriff's department. And they talked about the initiation. They have an actual cop that's on the force, and he has his face blurred out, his voice blurred out, and they had like 4 or 5 cops, and they were answering the questions. And they talked about the incentives you get to be in this gang. They showed the name of the gang and the actual ensemble and the insignia that they wear and the hand signs they use, and that if you murder somebody, you're in the game.
I think I saw a clip of that then.
Yeah, one of them might be called the Banditos or something like that. Yeah, I saw the news clip. I might have sent it to one of y'all. So it's everywhere. It's always been this way. People want to pretend like this is not the truth. You got real cops on the force with those same people currently admitting to this, and we just let it go because the police get investigated by other police.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
losing their job.
Friends, you get
they go to police court. They don't go to the same judge you go to. So hey, it's amazing that they keep getting off, and they followed protocol.
Mm-hmm.
But let's move along to Jake sent me this story. So the 11-year-old black child who made $1,000 selling N-word passes to his white friends at school.
God damn, I wish I could have thought of that shit.
I'm with him.
Man, if I could have thought of that shit when I was in school.
Why didn't he charge more?
He probably didn't think he was gonna be making that much. He was like, "Oh shit, hold up,
save up for your college tuition, buy your family a house." They saying it anyway.
That's what I was about to say. Kids are already saying it, so for them to actually buy it is what's crazy.
Well, they're buying it so they can literally have proof.
The pass doesn't give you any. What does it grant you?
That's how you buy it.
You have freedom of speech. You can say what you want.
Look, see, I'm gonna need the organization to like come together. They need to have a meeting. So he need like a big brother, a sister, a cousin, and we got to mark this all up. So in order to say it with the A, you got to pay like $5. You want to say it with the ER, you got to drop that 20 piece.
How much was he selling them for?
I don't know, but he made 1,000.
He made 1,000 like that. Like, that's a great business plan.
And
y'all doing this anyway, and y'all gonna listen to me thinking I can hand out passes.
And I'm the only one of 5 at the school. What am I gonna do if y'all say it?
You gotta. Here's the thing. You gotta think about his marketing strategy. He probably went up to them and was like, "You hear that new J. Cole song? You know he says nigga a couple times. I give you $5 for every time he says nigga. You got the pass." Like, what? I can rap J. Cole in front of you? Like,
and then in small print on the pass, be advised, this does not apply anywhere in the world, and this can be voided at any time by the next black person.
Can you imagine going to like saying the word and then getting slapped? Like he said, I
want to pass out.
I have a pass.
And then they say, "Oh, you got it. Oh, I didn't know you had it. Let me get the pass." Rip it up in your face and then beat you down even more.
Like, oh, who said you could? Oh, that's crazy. How much he sell you this for? You know what? If you want it to be voided for me, you're gonna have to slide me 22. If not, I can't accept this. I'm gonna have to.
But like, people are so thirsty to say it that bad.
It's insane. There's no other word that's.
Hey, they should do this at concerts. Drake, Lil Wayne, Lil Uzi Vert, they should be at the concert and checking people right when you check in. Hey, you want to use the N-word while you here? Extra 100.
All you gotta do is just create different VIP.
You can say it.
Deluxe. Say the N-word.
You know when they hit you is all my friends are dead, right? And then give you the mic to the person, you can say every word. Super VIP, extra 5 G's, and we recording this. Here you go. You know how cool you about to be when you get back to Pleasantville, USA, with Tom, Samantha, Tabitha, and Misty. You know how cool you about to be.
Hey, man.
I can't believe you got away with saying it.
Listen here, white folks, the 5 of y'all who watch this show. Y'all just I'm gonna put my Cash App in the description. If y'all want to say the word, just slide a 20 over here. You know what I'm saying? Actually, bless all the people on here with some. Give us $5.
Project Speaks. Go ahead, donate to Project.
The blackness. Go buy something from him. You know,
sounds like reparations.
But we're not responsible for anything that happens after the fact.
You know what though? This will work before reparations will work. I guarantee that.
Oh, it will.
Wait, what state just got approved for reparations?
Evanston, Illinois.
Yeah, it's like
it's not a state. It's just a city.
And
they gave away $20,000 per person. And
oh my gosh.
First of all, that's nothing. That's peanuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm surprised they actually gave that amount. Like,
okay, you have to understand how the money is divvied within that city, and the people who were on the board, and they had some black people leading it, and they made sure that it got approved. So that's one thing. My question is, how do you qualify who's black?
Yep.
That's true.
So this opens up a great argument, and I talked to a bunch of people, and I came up with my own idea of how you know you're paying the right people. Now, this is the part where people are about to get mad. So now you got black people here that would say they black. Then you got black people here who just started saying they was black last summer when people all of a sudden stopped saying African American, and now everybody's using black. When a person like me been saying black my whole life, I never switched it up in the year 2000 when that census changed to black. I changed to African American. I never switched it up. Now, if you want to use whatever term you want to use, fine. The truth of the matter is, every single group in this country got reparations, whether they were enslaved in this country or not. Every single group got reparations. So the people that they acknowledge that's a Native American groups, the people that are Jewish, the people that are Italians, the people that are Chinese and Japanese on internment camps. 1988 Civil Liberties Act gave $25,000 to each head of household Chinese person for being on internment camps. Now, if we just gave the same amount from 1988 to today, that would with inflation, that would amount to about 60 grand per black person. So even if we go in 88, they were just in internment camps. Well, slavery is the worst thing of all time. So if we just equate it to internment camps, that 20 G's ain't nothing. We should be getting at least 60 for internment camps. Well, we're talking about our entire group of people enslaved for 500 years. So we can't simply go with no 20 grand or 60 grand. And every institution, look at Wells Fargo, look at all of these institutions that began before 1865 or even before the end of Jim Crow. All them institutions made all their money and all their investments off of American slavery, US slavery. So now, if you go back 4 generations of most black people, you're directly touching slavery in this country. Your mama, your grandmama, your great-grandmama, you're touching slavery. They're direct sharecroppers, or they might have been enslaved when they was younger. Now you go 5 generations, definitely slavery. 6 generations, definitely slavery. Well, guess what happened within these 6 generations? We have Haitian immigrants, Jamaican immigrants, people all from Central America. A bunch of African-born people came over here with the different immigration acts of the 1960s, 1980s, 1990s. And a lot of their parents came over here. We go to school with these people in their BSU meetings. They be at UBSC, Emoji Conference, and all that. Cool. Guess what? Your parents ain't from here. You're first generation. So if you handing out money for American slavery from the United States, are you now going to dip your toe in there and say, I'm black too, I deserve the money too? And then I'm going to say, you know what, I'm with you. So everything you receive from your country, any benefits you receive for being what you are, I have to be included in that as well. But if I can't open up a business in Little Ethiopia, if I can't open up a business in a garment district, if I can't, me and black people from the United States in our 5 and 6 generations can't have a business in Little Africa in all these cities, and we're not allowed to be a part of it, I can understand. That's your culture of people from whatever country you from, and I'm on your side with that. Well, how can you now benefit from American blackness, but we can't benefit from any country in Africa? So let's both benefit, or let's both stay on our side. So this is where a whole bunch of people about to be black in order to get that reparation, if it ever gets handed out. So I guarantee you they're going through that in Evanston right now. And we're in an age where people can choose to selectively identify as black. To be Native American, you have to pass a blood test and have a percentage that they agree to, and they have a threshold. So for me, I think there should be a threshold, and I say 50%. Because you now have a parent, one of your parents is directly connected. One of them's not. If it's under 50%, it could be all over the place. And then there is not really, when you do a haplogroups in genetics, it doesn't say black, it doesn't say African American, it says sub-Saharan African. That's what they've labeled it as. So you have to use public records. both of your parents, 4 of your grandparents, 8 of your great-grandparents, you have to use public records to prove you and your whole black family been in this country for however many generations they want to go back. So I can directly link you to American United States slavery. And that means you qualify. Everybody's going to start falling off in the 90s, in the 80s, and the 60s with all the immigration acts. These different people from different countries that are still black, they're now going to fall off. And this is where you get the argument, because some of them believe they deserve it too. But you didn't get reparations when you was in their country, and you don't get to receive reparations. Go move to Jamaica right now. Go move to Haiti right now. Go move to the Congo right now. Go move to any one of those countries. You cannot receive the benefits that their citizens get for anything that happened to them, and you shouldn't. And I agree with them. Well, how can it go this way when everybody gets to benefit from black? So now the correction that's attempted to be made by reparations, which means to repair, you do not correct anything for black people in disenfranchisement if they can't ever get a leg up. You also have to share all the reparations money that your immediate family and ancestry suffered from. You have to spread the wealth with everybody who chooses to identify as black, who's black from another country. And this is where we get into some arguments, and people may be saying it's unfair. And I'm going to say it's unfair. So it probably never going to happen. But if it does, I guarantee you everybody's going to be black again. Even some of them Europeans about to say they black.
I don't think it would ever happen, because that would mean America would admit to being wrong, which they still haven't. That would mean they would admit to Jim Crow being wrong, which they still haven't. They kind of said slavery was wrong, but then they'd be like, we benefited from it. So it wasn't all that bad. So I don't think it will ever happen for that reason alone, because America does not admit when they do wrong.
Nope.
They do not. And for black people, that would mean they're admitting to a lot of wrong, you know. And I personally don't think they will ever do it. I think that cities probably have a better chance of getting it than like you doing it in your individual city than getting it throughout the whole USA. That's
okay, Jamal, but look at the precedent that's set. If these little cities copy Evanston, then people are going to start handing out $20,000 to $30,000 checks. And what happens after that? It's over.
Oh no, I don't think that a lot of cities would even be able to get to that point, because the board in most cities there's not even a person of color. Maybe like
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Go to DC.
But like
go to Houston.
The last time I went to DC, I mean DC's still black, but they getting a little white there.
It is. But this is what I'm saying. If reparations is ever paid out and they give you the pennies, even though we're owed trillions.
Yeah,
there should be money, there should be guaranteed land. Homestead Act 1862 gave every single white male head of household 160 acres. They only had to pay $1.25 a piece for each. So you basically paid $165 for 160 acres, each white man. Whole families, that's their wealth. Acreage needs to be given out. Money is second. Land is first. Give out money. There has to be certain laws and clauses put in place, and you have to be allowed to get loans. You have to be allowed to even purchase homes. So even giving money isn't enough, because I'm still not able to live in the neighborhood I want to. I still can't go and do what I want to, because everything still works against me with racism. I'm still getting pulled over. You heard what Kanye West said. If you get a Mercedes Benz, you still,
yeah.
You know, hey, so that's not going to stop that part of the oppression. But you definitely can fix some things economically and generationally if you hand out land, money, and then certain rules and regulations of procedures and policies that has to be followed with reinforcement. So now we can't allow people to just leave it at 20,000, because then it'll be over. Then they'll be like, we paid reparations, we're done with this conversation, and then we never go backwards. And we're not going to talk about the millions and billions that's given to Israel. We're not going to talk about all the money that goes to these other places. So then it gets dismissed. So that's why I don't want people to just, you can look at it and say, okay, this is something we could probably get into, but don't leave it so low. Start to ask for land, policies, procedures, and more things, and not just 20 grand to put in your 20 grand ain't nothing. That's rent in California for a year.
Shit, it's
not going to their pocket.
It's my apartment for the whole year. But I think that personally, for older folks, they probably were like, 20,000, we taking that because we lived through so much.
No.
They probably never thought it would happen. I personally don't think that it will happen ever because I don't think they would admit to the. They don't even admit to what's that shit, Tulsa.
Exactly.
They don't admit to certain things that we have evidence that they destroy cities and all that stuff. Not just in Tulsa, it is in more cities, but Tulsa is one that everybody knows, and they still don't own up to it. So I don't think we're gonna ever get anything.
Henrietta Lacks and her family haven't been properly paid. So that 1932 to 1972 Tuskegee experiment, they paid those people and their family members. It was like 400 and some odd people that they ended up paying through that. They got more than 20,000 for the Tuskegee experiment. So how are you going to give people that were coming through slavery less than what you paid for the Tuskegee experiment when you did all of those things on all of these enslaved people? So that's what I'm getting to. So now there's some people out here that may be mixed, or people that may be, my mother's from Africa, my father's from Florida, whatever. Hey, make a system. Go, if your lineage goes back 5-6 generations and all these people in your family are Black leading up to you, then maybe you get 100%. And then maybe we start to tear it off to different people from different countries or whatever. But it would be very unfair that you're first generation here, and then you get the same check of somebody that's 7 generations here. That'd be unfair.
Yeah, because a lot of what you have to look at it when it comes to that kind of stuff is like, you know, reparations in general are supposed to be for the people who had harm done, who need repairing, you know.
Exactly.
And so when you look at it right on that front, it's all like, yes, like if your lineage dates back to a population of people who have been harmed, you know, then yes, you deserve full compensation. If your lineage doesn't lead all the way back there, but you are still dealing with the repercussions of that lineage, right? You should not get 100, but you should still have like some part of reparations, because you still are experiencing the results of enslavement because of what you look like. Now, when it comes to like America in general, that shit not happening. But like, because like
nobody believes it.
Hell nah.
This shit's not happening in, at least until more people kind of understand the concept of like reparations, as well as like more people have to understand that like, oh, here's a check. It's like, you got to stop with the whole like, I want a check and I'll stay quiet. And it's like, no, because that's how people lowball you, and that's how people take advantage of you. Because if you're not understanding that like the goal of reparations, or you know, just repairing or whatever, isn't just to give you money, it's to build a generational, like it's to build generational benefits, like money that you get or whatever compensation you get for reparations is supposed to help build your family lineage, to give you all the opportunities that
like the 1952 Luxembourg Treaty that established and built the whole country of Israel to give to people who had suffered, and billions of dollars was pumped into them from multiple countries, something like that. The Congo went through a genocide from King Leopold II in the late 1890s, and all of those Congolese people deserve reparations. It doesn't mean I, as a Black person from East St. Louis, deserve to dip into that. I should not. Now, if we want to go with, I'm going to do it AfricanAncestry.com, and it shows I'm 12% Congolese. Hey, you can get into an argument about that. What about the Black people in Rhineland, Germany in the 1920s up into the 30s under Hitler's rule? He sterilized all the Black people in Germany, and it's called the Rhineland experiment. And you can look that up. Every Black person was not allowed to go to school, not allowed to work, not allowed to be in the city around anybody else. They were all sterilized, from kids to elderly to everybody was sterilized. They should be repaid for that. And that money shouldn't be just given to any random Black person from any other country. These people deserve to be repaired and given money and infrastructure for their group for suffering that, and their lineage should get that. So this is how people can now look at reparations and the overall planetary thing, and don't just go, if Black people in the United States get reparations, all of us should get some of it. Let's be fair about it.
And let's not call it reparations if that's what we're going to do. Because if you want to just give Black people money for the trauma and the history of mistreatment of Black people throughout the world, say that. I want to give black people
Yeah.
money. For the
Yes.
mistreatment.
They don't though. That's the thing.
No, they don't. They want
don't ever
people to stop talking about it.
listen. They have done. Black people throughout the world have been treated bad, and that's why when old girl said, "Y'all
Man, don't do it, because I was
do it.
I was sitting here contemplating, like, man, I want to add her
you
right
said
now.
her little comment. I didn't respond. I was not going to respond, but then Angie Ang wanted to respond, and I was gonna let her go. But then like she started talking to Angie and Aisha, and I was like, oh hell no.
Wow.
Nah, you know what's crazy? She said something like, but black people are they attack Asian and Mexican communities, and I was in the middle of firing up, and then I clicked send, and it was like comment is no longer available.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh.
because I was writing it. This is what happened. I was writing my message. Because I sent it to them, and I was like, you know what, Aisha, I got a better one. And I started typing it, and Aisha was all like, she deleted it. And I had a long-ass one. I was like, damn, I had some heat. I had some heat for her. I was like, God damn.
That's so annoying.
It is
Like,
annoying.
Big and bad.
I was upset that she went on our page. And I'm like, oh, go on the page, get engagement. I like that. But I was like, you went on the page and you went and searched, because I post every day. So that means you had to go and search for that and find that video, and you was like, I'm going to do this today. And you thought nobody was going to respond. But then when like she stopped posting, I think when other people got into it, other people who weren't black, because then she was like, oh, I can't really say nothing to them.
Man.
But fuck her. But hey, white people.
I almost burnt my dinner fucking around with her.
But white people.
Did she say that black people don't deserve reparations or something? What did
she said the obsession with white people is so weird. Talking about Jamal, because he did a little video about things white people say that is racist.
Oh, that video. Okay.
And I was like, nobody is obsessed with white people.
White people are the first one to, like, I saw white people doing it.
And she's not white, by the way.
She's not, but white people are the first people I saw doing it, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty funny. And I was doing it. I was on the couch dying laughing, and Aisha's just staring at me like, what the fuck are you doing? Because like I'm just looking at my phone and I look crazy doing it. And I didn't think nothing of it. I posted it. I was like, this ain't gonna get nothing, whatever. But that girl said something to me, and I was like, what the fuck? What am I obsessed about? And then
I was about to defend her, but I was like, let me.
You can't comment. You can't at her. She got it blocked that you can't at her.
You got a new page or something.
Private, and I'm like, so you a coward to go on somebody's page, but they can't respond to you. That means also when somebody responds, she has to go back to the page
and look at it. She was literally, because she responded like 2 hours later. Like she had time to really go back and be like, no, I'm gonna tell these black people she told me to educate myself.
She probably said Negroes. I don't think she said black.
Hey, but if you would have gave her the pass to say the N-word and got paid off of it,
there you go.
Everything would have been good. But
let's do that and raise reparations so we can pay black people on the planet. Because I think that's good, Jakeel. That should be the new argument. Let's take this to the United Nations and to the head of every country. And the new goal should be getting reparations planetary-wide for all black people in every country that they suffered. And let's stop talking about reparations as an individual group in an individual country.
Mm-hmm.
Planetary-wide.
What happens is like people start to divide, and like it makes it hard because when we're focused on like black collaboration and black integration into all aspects of blackness, we're like, yes, we support you, African culture, yes, I'm embodied, all this, and then we go, but whoa, why can't we go there, but y'all can come here? Like, how does this work? And then we focus on that, and then that's what white people and oppressors see. They see the backlash, and then they start to go, which group am I going to side with so I can invoke more and instigate more separation? And it's usually they side with Africans over black people because it's more beneficial for them to side with Africans. Because it's like,
that's why the conversation certain conversations I think are like just stupid because they don't even like the N-word conversation. That conversation is so stupid because I'm like, it distracts from everything that's going on. Like we're trying to get bigger things and we focus on who can say the N-word. Let people say it. They want to say it, say
it. They're stuck. They'll say, hey, say what you want to say, but I'm right-handed.
But and if you get slapped, you learned your lesson. Like if somebody talk about your mama and then they get slapped, they learned the lesson, right? So let it happen. But if you want to pay me, my Cash App will be in the description below. White people.
Hey, it works.
Oh, Jamal, don't bring up white people anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It works though. Put your Venmo in there. Put your Venmo.
Caucasian or Eurasian. Let's be proper.
Caucasian.
I don't even know my Venmo. That's the crazy thing.
Eurasian.
Hey, well, I know my Venmo. It's Jakeel R.
Rise and mine's Angela Harris. Got my little picture on there.
You know what I'm saying? I'm out here trying to change the world. We out here trying to make the world better.
Hey, are we having that conversation on who can have the N-word at every BSU, every NAACP?
You know what's crazy? Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna say it.
No,
I'm not. Hey, let's move along.
Let's have every racial slur conversation about who and who can't say what. Don't just end it and start it. How is it always? It doesn't matter what race of the person. It's always a conversation every semester. Who can and who can't say the N-word? You know what? I'm with y'all. Let's have that one. Right after that one, let's say who can say the F word, who can say the H word, who can say the J word, who can say every word, every racial slur. Let's go all the way down the list. Don't start and stop it with me.
Don't do that. Let's move along. Oh, and my Venmo is radio_Raheem. Just want y'all to know.
I gotta give you $1.
Hey, $1 is cool. You feel me?
$1 from 20 followers. That's 20.
Right. All right, Jamal, go ahead.
So Texas is being Texas again. Yikes. That's why I always shit on Texas because I take Houston out of Texas. I just want people from Houston. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? But Texas, y'all do like Florida. Y'all always talking about Florida, but y'all do the same shit. Texas lifting the restrictions on the mask and 100% opening up. Go ahead. What do y'all think?
Look, let me say this. I'm going to say this and be clear about it. That is the dumbest shit. That is the dumbest shit to do in this environment currently. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't know nobody really knows what around the pandemic, around COVID numbers and stuff like that. We don't know. But here's the thing. Texas is only doing this to make a statement about Texas. Like, we're going to open up 100%, show people that this is what true Americans want and all these different things. And it's like, no, every state is literally split down the middle.
I mean, Atlanta been doing it since the beginning of quarantine.
Yeah, there's a way to open up safely without saying, like, let's just open up everything.
This is my thing. I don't get why they made an announcement and doing all that. If people ain't going to wear a mask, you telling them that they can now openly do it ain't changing shit. They weren't wearing it if they weren't gonna wear a mask. I don't care what if you tell
with them, do what you want to do.
Like they're gonna do it anyways. If they want to die. Like let them die. Like
hold up, look,
let them die.
Okay, we gotta really talk about Texas for real. Hey, for all my people in Texas, at me. So here we go. Juneteenth comes out of Texas because in Galveston, Texas, they got the word last coming to the West, and that's how we get Juneteenth of the freedom or the emancipation of Black people. So we got Juneteenth out of Texas. What else do we get out of Texas? We get Texas tried to annex from the United States in 1845. We are our own country. Forget the United States, we're our own country. Texas don't play them games. What else do we get out of Texas? There's no such thing as slavery of Black people. They came here to work. They just didn't get paid. They were indentured servants. We're changing all of the history books. So this is the type of stuff we get out of the state of Texas because you know what else we get out of Texas? George W. Bush.
Both of the Bushes. God damn, we got both of the Bushes.
That's what Texas doing.
Fool me
There's
once,
a lot of stuff.
shame on you. Fool me twice, won't fool me again.
You know what else we get out of Texas? First 48.
First 48 is a
Hey,
great
Harris County, Texas. I ain't never been, but I know so much about y'all.
I know not to
Y'all
go.
First 48 all the time.
Dallas is on
Always
first
Harris
48
County.
so much. You would have think like first 48 started in Dallas. They on there so much.
Damn, they could literally do a spin-off. First 48 Texas.
Honestly. Oh, First 48 is so good. I had to stop
Hey.
watching that though.
Texas be on it. But hey, Texas open, whatever. I don't care. Florida been open. Atlanta been open.
Yeah.
So
But
hey,
they don't need to make an announcement about it. They
Oh,
don't.
Australia been
know.
open. It's a whole lot of countries that been open, and they don't. You can do what you want to do. So let's do this. Everybody do whatever you want to do. You want to put a mask on, put one on. You don't. Hey, just wash your hands. Don't shake my hand. If you cough around me, I should be able to sock you out. Like, let's change a couple laws. No coughing in public. How about that one?
Like,
Hey, you should be able to punch somebody who doesn't have their mask on. You should be able, and they cough. You should be still on it. No. I don't care if they're eating a Popeye biscuit and it's dry. If they cough and they don't have a mask on, I should be able to sock them right in their throat.
What if they're elderly? What if it's a baby in the wheelchair?
It shouldn't matter though.
Old people get knocked out too. I'd knock an old lady out. If she get, bow. That's what's gonna happen.
But here's the thing though. The thing about it is like, I respect people's right to do whatever the fuck they want to. It's your fucking life, right? But when you start to encroach upon my life or other people's life, that's when the rules change. Like, for example, right, Jamal, you remember when we were at, I think we were at the grocery store and that dude was like 6 feet.
Already swung.
Who are you talking to?
You're talking to me crazy now.
Like,
Come on, man.
so it's like, look, there are just things that make sense pre-COVID, even though we're dealing with it during COVID. First of all, you shouldn't be up on me anyways. I don't give a fuck who you are. You shouldn't be all up on me anyways.
That's the best rule. That's the best rule that came out of this. In that line at the grocery store, back up off me. People be in you with their cart. They be putting their stuff on right next to your stuff, and they be like, "Oh, is this yours?" And no, that ain't mine. They know that's their stuff. They didn't put that little bar down. You're supposed to put that little bar down. That's your food. That's my food. Like, one lady stood right on me like this and was trying to get me to pay for her stuff. And the dude was like, "Oh, is this yours?" I said, "No, that's her stuff." Is she? No, she's not with me. She kept stepping up. I had to step up. I'm past the little pay thing. The pay thing is back here. I'm like this, sticking my card in. I'm like, "Can y'all get her?" And something was wrong with her. Like, she was gone. Something was wrong with her. She had an issue. But I gotta say and go, "No, give me the 6 feet. Leave the 6 feet for life. Stay away from that dot.
Listen. I did not realize how many people were not washing their hands, washing their ass. Like, when I found out it was mandatory, I said, "Mandatory? Weren't we all doing this?" You know how many times I have to send kids? I'd be like, "Yo, I know you didn't wash your hands. Your hands aren't even wet. Go back to the bathroom."
And that's why people got conjunctivitis. That's why they stay with pink eye. That's why the cold passed around. You can't have that stuff all the time. You got doodle on your hands. Go wash your hands. Your fingers done went through the paper and you just walked out the stall straight back into the restaurant. Come on, man.
What's crazy is I started to reflect a little bit more about my public bathroom experiences. I realized there's been so many situations where I've been in the bathroom washing my hands and somebody would just walk right out. And I'd be like, "What's this bad?"
I don't experience that.
Oh, it's all the time. I feel like I'm getting punked. No, look. Are you mad at them or are you mad more at the people that just wet their hands and walk out? Like they fake tried to wash their hands.
Like they wanted it to seem like they washed their hands.
Yeah. And then
they wash one of their hands and do this.
Yeah, just come on. Why are you even trying to fool me?
That happened today at work. So, kids don't be washing their hands, right? So after we play recess or whatever, I'm like, "All right, wash your hands." This kid gonna cut the cold water on, number one, put his hand under there, and then go sit down like I didn't see that. And then when I said, "You have to put soap on it," he said, "I did." I said, "We were looking at you. All the kids snitched on you. We all was staring at you." He said, "I did." I said, bro, do it. And then he got a little tantrum. I said, just put some hand sanitizer on your hand. We can't do this, man.
That's nasty.
Don't touch my desk. Don't come near me anymore.
The
That's
thing
so
is,
tough.
if I trusted
Little
people,
boys. Digging in his booty ass little boys.
Pink eye.
if I trusted people's hygiene efforts more, it would make more sense. But I don't trust these people. Don't know how to like clean themselves. And look, and this doesn't just apply to like COVID. This applies outside. Like even in the experiences that we've had with people that we know, we're like,
Say no names, man.
how are you not
Run
more
that name.
aware of your hygiene? How are you not cleaning yourself, washing your hands and stuff, right? With regards to access, because you got it, right? And so it's like, let people do whatever they want. If they want to fucking be out here and contract diseases and shit, let that be on them. But the moment they start fucking with other people, that's when you.
It sounds like you're talking about a person.
No,
We're not doing
I'm
that.
talking about people in general.
People
you
do
have
be
to-
musty. Hey, your shadow stink. Like
I
stay
have
at
to be
home.
allowed to respond in the ways that I think is appropriate. If you, especially during COVID, like I don't care if you don't believe COVID's real. I don't care if you don't take it as serious as me, whatever. But the moment you are up on the back of my neck breathing hella hard because you don't abide by the 6 feet rule or the mask,
See,
I should be allowed to hit you with a 2-piece combo and a special.
see, hey man, I think this stuff should stay permanent. Now, I don't give a damn about no mask. Like you can get out my face with all that. But I'm gonna tell you this: I'm glad they got it because people's breath be stank. You know how many people don't wash their mouth? The crust be on the ends. They don't brush their teeth. People don't even. People don't know you're supposed to brush the inside and the outside and the back of your teeth and your tongue a little taste and the gums a little taste. They don't. Like, you're supposed to hit all that a little bit.
People just be like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, just hit the front and top out of here. Spit.
Yes.
Yes.
Listen. Dudes are like, I never understood when people like dudes are nasty until I lived with other dudes who weren't family. And I'm like, yo, they are really nasty. Like, I'm like, ugh. Like,
Whole toilet seat be yellow.
the
And it's
whole
a white toilet.
You be seeing brown stuff around the toilet, and I'd be like, yo, you gonna clean this? I don't be in the apartment enough, I don't use the bathroom here. I stay here to sleep. I'm gone most of the time. I'm like, this nasty, this brown.
You gotta put a little Pine Sol and a little comment and hit that brush, that toilet brush. You gotta do that at least every other day or something.
I remember I left for the weekend for like 3 days. There was no toilet paper. My roommate was there. I got back. There still was no toilet paper.
Was he just holding it in?
So I don't know if he was shit or I don't know if he just, I don't know what the hell happened.
He was a Subway
I was like,
napkin.
yo,
I know
what
it
is
He was just itchy. That's it.
That's nasty.
Just going outside and scooting across the grass when he got done. I know what he was doing.
That's nasty as hell. I had a roommate who didn't believe. I had a roommate one time who didn't believe toothpaste was real, so he would just brush his teeth with water, and I'd be like,
Huh? So he did the water pick before the water pick.
I said, so you didn't brush your teeth. You just wet the bristles and you just got your teeth wet a little bit.
Hey,
I was like, you're better off just scooping up some water and going and spitting it out. Like,
what is he rinsing out?
the food that's stuck in his mouth? I don't know. That's about it.
Hey, you can drop that name if you want to. I need to know who that is.
Nah, you
Stay away from that.
no name. Fuck that. I'm leaving shit in. I don't care anymore.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
I'm tired of I be working and stuff. I ain't editing all that like that.
Here's the thing. Take the precautions that you want to take, right, for COVID and stuff, with respect to understanding your immune system, understanding the world and stuff like that. But also, like, you just can't be an asshole. Like, other people have like precautions that they want to take. So just understand that. So like, if 6 feet is 6 feet, like, give me my space, right? And then also understand that like there's just some things that probably shouldn't be opened up right now. Like, that's just the reality. Some things you probably shouldn't have a lot of people congested in one space where people already are dirty. So it's like,
Yeah, like the club.
yeah, Like it doesn't make no sense to have a club open right now.
Hey,
Makes no sense to have a bar open right now.
Yeah,
club probably shouldn't have been open before that.
Yeah.
These people nasty under they clothes. So I ain't even talking about just washing your hands and coughing.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't have been out.
But like you can literally do like you go to the gym open, like just make sure that there's space and people are literally cleaning themselves afterwards.
I like that these gyms are outside. It needs to be more like that anyway. There's too much must
like closed in
that needs to be exfoliated in the elements versus inside of a gym closed in, no windows, no nothing, and it's just sweat cycling through a gym. And when you walk in the gym, it hits you. Like it's musty up in here. Just like when you walk in that sauna and you can't clean that stuff out.
Yeah, that's very true. I think with the gym, people don't like other people seeing them. That's what it is. And they feel like
it makes sense.
Man, I'm like, if I'm in this gym, that's a step right there. What
that should be motivation. All these cars passing by on the highway and they can see my muffins, my stuffings, my sweet potato hanging out my gut, then hey, that should be motivation. The next time they come through here in 2 weeks, I'm gonna be flat.
I don't care what people say. So
get your workout in.
And I get that, but like the thing is too, is like the gym environment in general probably should never have been enclosed in that way anyways.
Yeah.
Because there's too many opportunities for too much. Like you got people, the only reason why there should be a closed space in the gym is for like lockers and stuff like that.
Yeah, changing.
Swimming pools.
Yeah, using
like saunas and basketball courts or other like
swimming pool can even be outside too though.
Yeah. Even the basketball court, shit.
That's very true. Just put a little gray picket fence,
And you can do the court outside with like the rubber mats, so it's comfort and it's not like beating up your legs on the concrete. Yeah. So maybe the bathrooms and lockers, like stuff like that. Yeah, I would agree to that, and maybe even the sauna because it's tough to do it outside.
Especially in California, Southern California, especially it rains 5 times a year.
It's warm.
Y'all don't have to worry about that. Like that's not a issue here. And if you can't work out in the rain, then you probably don't need to be working out anyway. Soft ass.
I don't know what that means.
Soft ass. You can't work out in the rain.
Getting sick.
Work out in the rain.
This ain't a Omarion video. A Chris Brown video. You can't work out in the rain.
Let it burn, like Usher said.
That's how you know a video was good back then when that rain was hitting them.
Stop it.
It wasn't rain.
They was dancing all up in the rain.
There was somebody on a roof of somebody's house.
Ray J's One Wish would not have been that great without the rain. I'm just saying.
The video is good.
He was out there in the rain. If there was no rain,
it'd still be the same song.
It wouldn't have been that good.
I'm not gonna slander Ray J.
New edition. Can You Stay in the Rain? They had
that video just didn't make sense at all.
Missy Elliott, The Rain. They had a little bit of rain in it.
The thing is, that video is better than almost all videos that have a whole bunch of rain, and it's not even that much rain in that video.
No, I need the rain, the dancing, I need all that.
Your boots in and all that.
So you need them in a tank top in the rain.
That's
and then like they rip off their tank top in the middle of it all.
Damn, we have past video. Now we're moving into adult film.
That's what I'm watching porno.
Nah, it's not weird.
Pornhub.
You do whatever you want to do with your own time.
What the hell?
Open
up your shirt and show off your chest. What the hell? That's a porno.
Yeah. Get Cinemax. We ain't looking for that no music video.
The hell? You ain't even listening to the song, huh?
Shut up.
Hey, the sound is off. She's just watching a video in the dark. Taking a sip. I know what you're doing.
It's like that one way. Yeah, all right, nasty.
Hey, just lock your door.
Watching this too. He gonna see that. He gonna be like, "Oh, that's what she." Huh?
Yeah, just lock the door. You watching that Notarized 2020? They don't do that no more, do they? BET Notarized. At the end of the year, they play all the videos from the year.
No, I don't think they do that anymore.
Y'all remember that?
I do.
BET don't play.
Because I always was waiting to see who would have the #1 spot.
Yeah.
It was always somebody who didn't deserve it.
They need to bring Sita's Playhouse back. That was my stuff right there.
They need to bring just music videos being on TV again.
Music videos need to match the song because these videos be.
What's wrong? It got a match.
It don't go with the song.
Video just need to be good.
Videos never went with the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What video goes with the song really though? Only like Thriller and stuff like that.
Yeah, once you get into the like early 2000s, it was just whatever.
Yeah, come on, Trey Songz can't help but wait. That man was out here fighting somebody who's already
Tip drill.
Hey, that match. Hey, that match.
I love it when you do that right there. Was it right there?
Right.
Hey, batter up. That went with the video. They was playing baseball.
That did.
Now going down, baby, your street in the range, that didn't match.
Did not. A lot of them videos don't match. Like
Confessions matched.
Confessions was.
It did.
You don't have to call.
I'll just listen to the album.
That kind of match.
is that the one when he got the little rollerblades in the video?
Yeah, and he goes.
Hold up.
Like,
Oh no! Out of my system. That's some rain for you right there, Angie.
Bow Wow,
No,
Marjan.
Out of my system. Bow Wow and the Marjan.
No,
They made a couple good songs.
That was my jam right there.
they made an album though. Were you listening to that album?
Didn't they have a
It's
tour
great.
too?
It's great. I was bumping Out of My System.
But did you go to the tour?
No.
That was one of the top tours ever in the United States.
Scream tour.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get you out of my
Bow Wow
system.
don't get his respect.
I agree.
I like Bow Wow.
He
Bow
don't.
Wow don't get his respect.
He also bought a little baby yacht.
He bought a yacht though. That's the thing. People
Yeah,
talk about Bow Wow, like Bow Wow bought a yacht. You can't even get on a boat. You can't rent a boat. Shut up.
Bow Wow is stunting on Stunt Street. That boy's so broke. You overspending. You're showing. You forgot the Bow Wow challenge. I'm sitting in coach, but I'm claiming first class.
You know what's crazy? Bow Wow should have way more money, but like
Now when you got kids and child support.
Mm-hmm.
he probably signed a bad deal. Jermaine Dupri probably got all that money.
No, Jermaine Dupri know how to milk.
I mean, people love to talk about all the bad boy artists. Ain't nobody talking about all the so deaf artists.
Yeah, ain't none of them getting paid.
You know,
the franchise boys.
all the death row artists. We can keep going.
Them franchise boys.
Death Row, they died. Most of them died.
Hey, it's been more than that. Bow Wow was a death row artist.
He was like 10.
He still was an artist making money.
Not even.
Snoop Dogg was a death row artist. We
Yeah.
go on and on.
Snoop Dogg probably didn't make that much money off of music.
The Dog Pound.
Dog Pound.
You can keep going. It's a lot of people that was on death row.
Did they have Lady of Rage too?
Yes.
They had a lot of people.
Oh, MC Hammer was on death row.
Hammer real broke too.
And there you have it. So you go to all them. Jay Prince. There's a lot of people on Rap a Lot and all these other things. So when you go to the moguls, Young Money. Where's what's the little dude name? Little Twist? Where Little Twist at?
Young Money. It wasn't Young Money. It's Cash Money. Cash Money. Birdman was making all that money. Birdman was making all that. He wasn't paying producers. He wasn't paying nobody.
And he was running the 2000s.
Man. So none of the moguls are broke, but hey.
That's the thing. Like, I remember when Diddy was talking, like, yeah, pay them artists. Mace is like,
yeah, and they're like, you the main one.
So you gonna give me my song? Diddy didn't respond at all. He went ghost. He started posting pictures of him on vacation.
And Mace out here signing autographs at parades and giving sermons at Vacation Bible School to pay his rent. That's what he doing. Like, come on,
man.
Mace was a top artist for a couple of years, and this is what you turn into.
Mace's debut album was good. Like,
okay, Mace's comeback album, it was okay. He had 2 hits on there.
Welcome Back.
Welcome Back. Yeah, he had 2 hits on there.
Welcome Back.
He got that was a song, Breathe, Stretch, Shake,
Let It Go. Yeah, them 2 songs.
I got that on vinyl.
And you can still play that right now.
I got it for 50 Cent though. That's how disrespectful they did. The single was 50 Cent.
I mean,
because they don't put no respect on Mace.
Yeah.
Man, I can never sign to nobody. The only person I would say has people who they broke too though.
Look at everybody that's under Kanye. Where's Consequence at? Where's Rhyme Fest?
Writing for Kanye.
Oh yeah, and he got all them Grammys, and he's sitting at home in a regular house in regular Chicago teaching after school classes.
Yeah.
With Grammys on the wall in his living room. He got the Grammy and he's writing, but he's not getting the same amount in residuals. He's definitely not getting what he should get.
Oh, you can't tour off of being a writer? Ain't no tour.
Well, you should be getting that credit though, that kickback.
He probably was ghostwriting. That's the thing. Ghostwriting, you ain't getting no guap.
Yeah, you getting one check.
That's
it. Here you go, bow over.
You need to get on that song. I would never be a ghostwriter. I could be terrible ghostwriter because I would be letting everybody know I wrote that song.
The best part of ghostwriting is you don't have to perform and none of that. You can get a check. The worst part is if that song becomes a hit, you just blew millions of dollars for the rest of your life.
What happened to that one dude who wrote that song for Drake?
Nah, but he
got Miller?
got ruined.
Meek Mill actually ruined his career.
Yeah, his career got ruined after all that.
Actually thought he was doing something, but he ruined his career. He didn't ruin Drake's career. Nobody looked at Drake like, oh yeah, his pen game is so nice. They're like, he sings, he makes good songs.
Yeah.
So he ruined Quinn Miller's life. Like
Quinn Miller had a couple good songs, but he ain't got the voice.
He don't have the voice.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Cause I was listening to a song like you got lyrics and everything. Your voice is just like you're not meant to be a rapper. You clearly
you sound like you crying while he doing it. It just didn't work.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
But Meek fucked his career up.
Joe did.
And he fucked his own career up. Dumbass.
Yeah. Look at the Locks. The Locks still trying to put out albums because they ain't got a check.
Because of Diddy. Diddy really screwed a lot of people. He had some good artists too. That's why they had to do their own solo stuff. They couldn't get paid as a group.
Okay, what about Beans, Beanie Siegel, Chris and Neef? Look at Rockefeller.
Beanie artist too much, you know. Beans would go to war. You feel me? Like that's why
Jay-Z just made $297 million today.
Oh, he sold Tidal.
Sold Tidal to Square.
Really?
Yeah. He sold some of the portions of Tidal, his portion or whatever, because he owned half of it or something, or a good share. Because Tidal's owned by a group. A lot of people think he owns Tidal, just like people thought he owned the Nets. He just owns a portion of it. Yeah. So he seemed to be he doing a lot of divesting right now. Next year he must want to be on that $2 billion list next year.
Because he's selling a lot of stuff. He sold AIDS.
Selling a lot of stuff. But I mean, that's a good business move too, though. People try to sell too late while it's on the decline, and then you get offered a third of what it's worth. So you want to sell right somewhere within the peak. It climbs, it peaks, and it sits at a peak. That's when you need to sell to get your highest return. So I think he's doing stuff like that. Because he did the same thing with Rockaware.
That's what Dr. J did with Dre
Beats. Yeah. And guess what? When's the last time you heard somebody talk about Dre Beats? Come on.
That was the smartest thing he could do.
Yeah, because then Apple was like, I just want to steal your product. And now I'm making Apple AirPods.
There you go. Run me the bill. We don't want the competition. That's all they paid for, no competition.
Yeah, because they literally made the AirPods that are literally Dre. They're Dre Beats.
Yes.
People who are paying that price, I'm like, you're paying for Dre Beats. They're just Apple.
Yeah, in a different package.
Same thing. Different.
The same thing happened with vitamin water. When's the last time you heard of vitamin water, seen a commercial, anything?
Nope. I didn't even know what vitamin water was until 50 Cent. So,
thinking of 50 Cent, I was just playing 50 Cent's Bulletproof the other day, and that man had so much references to vitamin water in that game. And it was just like I was like, that's smart. And he put his own soundtrack on that song. Like there was no other song. It was just nothing but G Unit songs.
There you go.
And nothing but G Unit voice acting.
Where Young Buck at right now?
I don't know.
Honestly, if you have a label, I don't know anybody who has a label.
Tony Yayo at?
Besides probably like J. Cole. I don't know anybody who has artists that are actually, and they're young, so we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know anybody who has successful artists.
TDE?
But that's not a rapper. That's Top. Top isn't a rapper.
What about West Side Connect Gang?
UMC?
UMC.
See, where's Exhibit at right now? Besides paying his ex-wife half,
Yeah, he just
You
got
know,
the
trying to get into another Fast and Furious
he
movie.
need to do another Pimp My Ride 2021.
What happened is they found out that the show is fake.
Yeah, yep, that's what happened too, and that's what ended the show. And too many people started giving bad reviews of the cars they took home.
How the hell you put a whole fish tank and all this type of stuff in the car? The car can't run. It's too heavy.
Oh, here's the better part. Even though the show was fake, West Coast Customs shot out the roof, and they made probably 500% profit off of the show. And they became a multi-million-dollar corporation. And they even put out a couple of TV shows for a few seasons.
Shit, they was all in the magazines, like the King
Yep.
magazine and shit like that. So,
And now they do work for everybody around the planet. And where's the Exhibit?
We're coming to pimp your ride. Knock on that door.
Last time we heard Exhibit album since 03.
Since
Come on.
yeah.
People don't even mention the Exhibit name when it comes to rapping.
because they
You know
think
what, though?
Exhibit
Is he
as-
even really from California?
I don't know. He might have pulled a Marshall Mathers and came from somewhere else. Who knows? Oh, since y'all want to talk about rap, is Jay-Z not the best rapper ever? Have y'all not
Hey,
heard?
man, hold up. Say that.
Have y'all not heard the best song out this year? And if it don't get a Grammy, I mean, whatever. They need to change the Grammys anyway. They need a Black award show, and Black people should hand out awards to each other. You know, I tried that at my undergraduate school. Didn't go over too well. We need Black award show at all these schools. And all these...
Hey, what you doing?
Just saying. Have a Black award show. You hand out a Black award to Black people. If the Grammys want to give you something, tell them to send it in the mail. Like, don't ever show up again. Don't show up for the Grammys, the Academy Award. Don't even show up. Show up for your own.
You know what's crazy about that type of stuff? I'm not even gonna do the last topic on here because we're not.
Yeah, it's gonna be too long.
What it feels like. Go listen to it.
Artists like they shit on the Grammys until they get nominated for a Grammy.
And they there with their whole family, their mama, their cousin,
and everything. They like Grammy done snubbed me, but then as soon as they get nominated,
they're
there. I'm like, keep the same energy. Do what Drake did.
Do what Will Smith did.
Drake is like drinking out the Grammys, shitting on the Grammys, ain't showing up to the Grammys.
There you go.
Hey Drake, but I'm like, I respect that. You know, he went up there and was all like shitting on the Grammys, and they was like, yeah, cut your mic, bro. You're done.
Yeah,
you're
send it in the mail. You getting it anyway? Send it in the mail. You don't have to show up.
How they not nominate The Weeknd? They not nominate The Weeknd, but his songs are the biggest songs of the year.
I'm with them.
If you're not a fan,
I'm with them. I'm not a fan. I'm with them.
But like, it's in everything.
Hey, give me Monday or Tuesday. I'm good off the weekend.
I'm dead.
That's so shady. Unnecessary too. That's unnecessary shade. It's not even like
it ain't my flavor. It ain't for me.
That unnecessary shade.
It ain't for me. That's your guy, not my guy. Hey, run me verse 2 of What It Feels Like. Verse 2. I mean, Jay-Z murdered the microphone. All these people, this guy's elderly. He's senior citizen status. Best rapper alive still, senior citizen status.
That's the thing. I was reading them lyrics. I said, God damn.
Hey, you got to do it again and again. You know, I can't even count how many times I listened to it because it's so, every single word is a reference to something. There's nothing wasted, and he just dropped it. It's a new verse. It ain't nothing he sat on and worked on. Just everything in there is relevant to right now today.
That's why he the best.
Impeccable. It's you can't even compare it.
I was just talking to somebody about like Jay-Z and Beyonce. It's like, look, do I like Beyonce as an artist? No, she's not in my playlist like that.
Oh,
who did you say?
Hey, what you doing? Hold up. Stop.
Solange, your sister?
Stop. We trying to grow as a podcast.
Okay.
And you on here shitting on Beyonce. What is
wrong? I'm not shitting on Beyonce.
Hey,
Beyonce is a great artist.
So this whole part is getting cut out.
No, Beyonce is great.
We trying to ask questions.
Beyonce and Jay-Z are the only couple who are both musicians who can stay silent for years and then use their own money to facilitate their own product and blow the fuck up. Like,
so you saying that Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys ain't doing that?
Not on the same level as Beyonce and Jay-Z. We start putting out more music instead of just producing beats, maybe.
First of all, let's stop that. I don't ever need to hear a Swiss Beats rap verse.
So you didn't hear Swiss Beats echo with Nas. Swiss Beat kind of produced some of Nas's songs off the album right before. Hit Boy, greatest producer out right now.
The thing is, I can do without those, to be honest.
Y'all little beat, holla at me.
Swiss Beats is a good producer, but when I don't want to hear Swiss Beats rapping.
Nope. But
Well, he's trying to get that producer credit and that writer credit on the song. So when it hits,
that's why he'd be like, oh, click. Oh, you ain't getting paid off of my song. Get the fuck out of here. You getting paid for the beat.
See, that's the thing. Like Jay-Z and Beyonce put so much money into that Black is King to the point where it got to Disney Plus. When you are a musician,
was it Jay-Z too?
Well, they money.
It was Beyonce.
Money.
Angie, I don't like that. I don't like how you just pulled it.
Don't separate Jay-Z from Beyonce like that, as if he wasn't a part of Black is King.
They filing taxes separate or joint.
I'm just saying. She got her own
family income.
Is her last name Carter? Like, what you talking about right now?
Don't they got ugly kids together? Ugly, beautiful kids?
Look at, hey, Jamal, mute this guy. I don't know.
No, Beyonce's kids are beautiful.
Hey, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey,
wrap it up. Come on, wrap it up.
Hey,
wrap it up.
I'm gonna be controversial.
This has been another episode.
No, we got more to say. We got one more question.
What the fuck?
Beyonce's the worst musician of all time.
First of all, you can't call kids ugly. You can't. Black kids. No. You cannot call. You cannot call black kids ugly. Especially Beyonce's kids.
I said ugly, beautiful kids.
Ugly, beautiful kids.
Okay, Jamal. So can you call a kid fat?
No, I can't.
Can you call a kid stupid? I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about people. Can you call a kid stupid?
My gosh.
I'm going to answer politically correct anywhere I go.
Okay.
These are just jokes, okay?
So how old does a kid have to get before you insult the kid?
This is not serious.
That's my real question. Jamal, how old does a kid have to be before you can insult them? Rewind back 30 minutes ago when you just said you'll knock a kid out and an elderly person out if they cough on you.
I don't recall.
Wait. Speaking of that, did y'all see that video of that girl talking about her pushing over some little kid because he fed her poo?
It was so nasty.
All right, let's let me wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
We gonna end on that?
Actually, we got to do a person of the week, but y'all saying some reckless stuff.
Let's get to the person of the week. Delete this out.
I don't have a person of the week. I just want to say
somebody why everybody else.
The person of the week. I'm the person of the week.
You can be your own person of the week.
Now that's just.
Oh, for sure. I'm the person of the week.
That's it.
Do I have to say why?
Yeah. A little background information.
Now we know who don't be watching the podcast.
Never watches. You're a liar.
Yes, I always watch it. What are you talking about? Anyways, before I was really interrupted, I would say I'm the person of the week because I stay just thriving, stay out here doing stuff. Hey, come on, man. Let me have it. Let me gas myself up for a little bit. No, I think I wouldn't call myself the person of the week. Person of the year, maybe, but not of the week. But my person of the week, I would have to say Tony Baker. That's my person.
Hey.
Because like he's super consistent, and consistency as a Black creative is like one of the biggest things that I could always appreciate. And then one, he's hilarious as shit, and he stays consistent with not only the animal videos, not only the gaming stuff, not only like putting his own people on platforms with Tony Breakers and friends. Like he's also speaking out on things and like speaking about them like purposely, like on his Instagram, on his social media. When he's all like, "Oh, had that same," and he'd be like, "Had that same energy for when y'all was in my comments about this."
Yeah,
like Tony Baker's got to be my person of the week.
All right, Jake, go ahead.
Okay. My persons of the week is husband and wife, Regis and Karan Bethencourt. They have a photography book called Glory. You should look at this. So y'all might have seen this and maybe not recognize the name. Some of their pictures went around social media within the last year or two during Black History Month and stuff. What they do is they get little Black kids in their neighborhood and they get these kids to be a Black great person in history and they photograph these kids. So all those memes and little pictures you've seen around with a little kid with the glasses, he was Malcolm X, or the little girl that's Angela Davis and all of this, they're a part of this. So they're husband and wife couple. That's my persons of the week. They did another group. They did this again for Black History Month, and they're constantly doing this. And they have a whole book out with hundreds of photos of little Black kids posing as a kid version of these great Black people throughout American history.
All right, mine is Jay-Z and Beyonce because I ain't trying to get canceled.
I mean, all that money Jay-Z just made this month.
Nah, Jay-Z for continuing to do excellent things, you know, businesses, still barring up the best rappers to this day, still barring them up, you know, consistently putting out good music, using his platform to not just, you know, talk about Black excellence, be Black excellence. A lot of people just be talking about Black excellence, Black excellence. Y'all ain't being Black. Y'all ain't doing nothing that's saying that at all. This time you put the shirt on don't mean nothing. But that's who is my person of the week. Angie Ang doesn't have one, so right, you ain't got one.
Wow.
All right.
Well,
So
I have our last episode. Yes,
your brothers are your person of the week because they came down from their respective homes to help you move the things that
wasn't this week. That was about 3 weeks ago.
First of all, it was not 3 weeks ago.
It was about 3 weeks ago.
Second of all,
weeks ago.
Yeah. No. Whatever.
All right. This has been another episode of the Harris Show. I'm going to thank Jakeel and Jake for showing up on the episode. And until next time, peace.